really know. Somebody, it seems clear that the shot came from 1 to 3 inches away. So, and it's like people are just lobotomized. They don't know. Oh no, we don't know what physical evidence is. We can't add 1 plus 1. Yeah, no. So, but then also, I think another piece of convincing evidence that comes from Teddy Charach. It doesn't come from the district attorney at the time, whose name I'm forgetting. It doesn't come from anybody in the government of the county or city of Los Angeles or the state of California or the federal government. It comes from this guy who was an individual reporter who called Thane Cesar had lied, apparently, and said that he sold his 22 H&R 22, which is supposedly possibly the murder weapon. He sold it before the murder of RFK. Well, this guy contacted Yoder, who he sold the gun to, who worked with Thane Cesar at Lockheed. And Yoder told him, and if the audio is in the second gun, Yoder said, no, I have the receipt right here. It was September after the murder of RFK. And so, and then even got a photocopy of Yoder's receipt. Thane Cesar signed it Yoder. He misspells it Yolder, Y-O-L-D-E-R. So, I mean, there's just a lot of evidence against Thane Cesar as the murderer of RFK. And I mean, I think a lot of people, the story we get in the textbooks, and if you get any story at all, it said, oh, it was Sirhan Sirhan, it's open and closed, open and shut case, no reason to look. And the second you look for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and you open up like a movie like The Second Gun, the entire thing stinks, and you know instantly that it's Thane Cesar, and that there's something very wrong with it because, powder burns and all the witnesses say that Sirhan Sirhan was 10 feet away. So anyway, it was interesting about that Yoder interview. And one question I had for you is, do you think that Yoder ever test-fired that gun, like test-fired target practice? Because maybe some of those bullets might be still around there, or the casings, and they might be able to be used to link Thane Cesar to that gun and to the bullets with RFK. I mean, if the Los Angeles government still has those bullets in its property, maybe there could be a ballistics match. What do you think?
Well, Ted, there's a few corrections I'll have to make. It's a very good question. Yes, Yoder had fired Caesar's gun into a pool at his home in Blue Mountain, Arkansas. I made 6 trips into the south to locate that gun at my expense. I was in Arkansas in the woods with a bodyguard. Russell Walker was my bodyguard. I came back again north of Fort Smith, Arkansas. I went into prison and interviewed David Sloan, one of the thieves. I identified all the people that stole that gun from Yoder's home. And I had research papers which I shared only with one other veteran newsman, Hal Jacks, who now is probably around 92, and I think the world of, and he said to me, Ted, if I had to pick 10 investigative reporters from America at the top, or interviewers, you'd be right there among the top if I had to go around in the story. Now the factual account is that Caesar shot from behind Bobby Kennedy, allegedly, and we have to say he's the alleged second assassin. He shot from razor-close conditions from behind, not 4 times, as the late researcher Lillian Castellano and I, we tossed a coin. So I went along with Lillian and believed that at least we could prove 12, but in all probability there was 13. Now, the remarkable thing is, the book of books which tells the truth and which is dedicated to me, and I'm very humbled by it and very honored, by a jurist, a doctor in law, and highly knowledgeable in forensic sciences, and also an expert in the Robert Kennedy case, Dr. Robert J. Joling, and an expert in audio sound, another wonderful human being, happened to be two Dutchmen doing their work for truth.
You're talking about Philip van Praag.
Philip van
Praag.
Praag. And their book is on the market, and I'm very humbled and honored that they dedicated it to me and to Lowell Bradford, the late Lowell Bradford, a criminalist which I brought into the case indirectly, and directly brought in Bill Harper, the man who invented the seat belts, source Time magazines, the man of the last court of America, the man of destiny, one of the world's greatest criminalists. People mix up criminology with criminalist. Criminalist deals with the physical issues, the science of a crime. Criminologist is a man or a woman who studies the social issues of crime. Now, who doesn't get a fair shake? Not deliberately, there's no malice intent, is Professor Herbert Leon MacDonald of Corning, New York, in open and shut case, and attorney Godfrey Isaac, the humanitarian attorney who is a wonderful, great, prominent lawyer.
Yeah, Godfrey Isaac's in The Second Gun, and he is interesting. He totally defends Teddy Charach's probe, and he also, Godfrey Isaacs also defended Thomas Noguchi when they tried to, this establishment tried to slander Thomas Noguchi and say that he was incompetent. But Isaacs proved that, of course, this was the most perfect autopsy done by, very competent autopsy. So just to say that.
Well, not only that, he holds the distinction, and all the books don't give him his due recognition. And the reason they don't is that they all went on a sick ego trip. And I'll name names. I'm not afraid to take off the gloves. And they all deserve, not literally but figuratively, good punches. And that goes for the late Philip Melanson, the conspiracy professor, who acted as a weasel in this case, unfortunately, and his mentor, the late Greg Stone. Mr. Melanson dies mysteriously of cancer, and Greg Stone shoots himself in Griffith Park in the mouth. Allegedly. He's on Prozac. And Allard Lowenstein, the congressman, former congressman, is riding the white horse, and he's going to take all the recognition in the world for the Second Gun findings. He made promises to me on July the 3rd, 1973, at actor Robert Vaughn's home, and Robert Vaughn has not been honest with the Second Gun probe. I don't like saying these things, but I must say the truth. All this will be told in the incredible book, 21st Century Journalism, and I'm privileging the I reported the truth, Termination 3, JFK, MLK, RFK. And Noguchi really said